The forest enveloped them, its towering trees casting long shadows that danced across the ground like specters in the fading light. Eli adjusted his glasses and squinted at the path ahead, the crunch of leaves underfoot punctuating their steps as they delved deeper into the Appalachian wilderness. The air was crisp and cool, imbued with the scent of pine and damp earth, a stark contrast to the suburban monotony they had left behind. "Are we sure we're going the right way, Jonah?" Mira's voice broke the silence, her skepticism evident even in the gentle cadence of her words. Jonah, leading the group with a map in hand, shot her a reassuring grin. "Trust me, Mira, this is going to be epic. A few days away from it all, it's exactly what we need." "Assuming we survive," Mira muttered, more to herself than anyone else. Lila, ever the optimist, skipped a few paces ahead, her backpack bouncing in rhythm with her steps. "Come on, Mira, where's your sense of adventure? Imagine all the stories we'll have by the time we get back." Eli watched them, his mind already cataloging the dynamics at play. Jonah's enthusiasm was infectious, but Mira's caution provided a necessary balance. Lila, with her boundless imagination, seemed to float between them, a bridge connecting their disparate energies. As they approached a clearing, the sound of water trickling over rocks reached their ears. A brook that glistened in the afternoon sun like liquid silver. It was here they decided to set up camp, the babbling water providing a soothing backdrop as they unpacked their gear. "Perfect spot," Jonah declared, dropping his backpack with a thud. "We'll have this place set up in no time." While Jonah and Lila busied themselves with the tents, Eli wandered toward the edge of the clearing. His gaze lingered on the forest beyond, where shadows pooled like ink in the underbrush. There was something about this place, a weight in the air that pressed down on him like an unspoken secret. Mira joined him, her arms crossed against the chill. "You feel it too, don't you?" Eli nodded slowly. "It's different here, like there's something just out of sight." "Probably just our imaginations," Mira said, though her eyes betrayed her doubt. As night descended, they gathered around a crackling campfire, its warmth a welcome reprieve from the encroaching cold. The flames cast flickering shadows across their faces, transforming them into a gallery of shifting expressions. Lila's voice broke through the crackle of burning wood. "So what do we think? Ghost stories or conspiracy theories tonight?" Jonah chuckled. "How about both? I'm sure we can come up with something that'll keep us up all night." Before anyone could respond, Eli's foot caught on something half-buried beneath a pile of leaves near his seat. He crouched down, brushing aside debris to reveal an old, weathered journal. The leather cover was worn and cracked with age, its pages yellowed and brittle. "What's that?" Lila leaned forward, curiosity piqued. Eli held it up for all to see. "Found it by accident. Looks pretty old." Jonah's eyes gleamed with intrigue. "A relic from the past. Let's see what's inside." Mira hesitated as Eli opened the journal, revealing pages filled with cryptic entries and unsettling sketches. The handwriting was spidery and uneven, as if scrawled in haste or fear. Lila leaned closer, her breath catching as she read aloud. "We are not alone in these woods. Shadows move where there should be none." Silence fell over them, broken only by the distant call of an owl echoing through the trees. Eli felt a chill run down his spine, a sensation that had nothing to do with the temperature. "Sounds like someone was having fun with their imagination," Jonah said lightly, though his voice lacked conviction. Mira shook her head. "Or maybe they knew something we don't." The conversation that followed was charged with speculation and unease. Each entry sparked debate. Was it mere fiction or a chilling warning? As they exchanged theories, Eli noted how their words mirrored their personalities. Jonah's bravado clashing with Mira's skepticism, Lila's imagination weaving possibilities that hovered between reality and fantasy. Yet beneath it all lay a growing tension, a fear that perhaps they weren't as alone as they wanted to believe. "Do you think there's any truth to it?" Lila asked, her gaze fixed on Eli. He hesitated before replying. "I don't know, but it's worth keeping our eyes open." As if on cue, a rustling in the underbrush snapped everyone's attention to the forest's edge. They froze, hearts pounding in unison as they scanned the darkness for signs of movement. "Probably just a raccoon," Jonah said after a moment, though his eyes remained on the shadows. Mira exhaled slowly. "Let's hope so." The fire crackled softly as they settled back into their seats, each lost in thought. The journal lay between them, a silent reminder of mysteries yet to be unraveled. As midnight approached and exhaustion set in, they retreated to their tents one by one. Eli lingered by the dying embers of the fire, his mind racing with questions he couldn't yet answer. In the quiet solitude of his thoughts, he felt the weight of responsibility settle over him, the need to protect his friends from whatever lay hidden within these ancient woods. With a final glance at the journal resting beside him, Eli rose and made his way to his tent. The night closed in around him like a shroud, and he couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning of their journey into the unknown. Tomorrow would bring new challenges and perhaps answers, but for now, sleep eluded him as he lay awake beneath a canopy of stars and secrets waiting to be discovered. The morning mist clung to the forest like a shroud, veiling the sunlight in an ethereal glow as Eli, Mira, Jonah, and Lila trudged deeper into the Appalachian wilderness. Their laughter echoed through the trees, a stark contrast to the stillness of their surroundings. Each step was a dance with nature, the crunch of fallen leaves underfoot accompanying their spirited banter. Jonah led the way, his enthusiasm contagious. "You guys are gonna love this spot," he promised, pushing a low-hanging branch aside. "It's like our own little paradise." "Paradise with bugs and no Wi-Fi," Mira quipped, swatting at a persistent mosquito. Her skepticism was as much a part of her as the glasses perched on her nose, always ready to challenge Jonah's romanticized view of nature. Lila skipped ahead, her imagination spinning tales with every rustle of the leaves. "I bet there are fairies living in these woods," she said, her eyes wide with wonder. "Or maybe a hidden treasure." Eli brought up the rear, quiet and observant. He watched his friends with a fond smile, noting the way Mira's eyes softened when she laughed, or how Jonah's confidence seemed to bolster Lila's flights of fancy. He felt a pang of gratitude for this escape from their suburban routine, a chance to be part of something larger than themselves. As they reached a small clearing, Jonah declared it perfect for their campsite. A babbling brook meandered nearby, its waters sparkling like liquid silver in the dappled sunlight. They set about pitching tents and gathering firewood, their camaraderie smoothing over any rough edges. It wasn't long before Lila's shriek pierced the air. "Guys, look what I found!" She held up an old, weathered journal, its pages yellowed with age. Mira frowned, taking it from Lila's hands. "It's probably just some hiker's log. Or a pirate's journal," Lila insisted, undeterred. Jonah joined them, curiosity piqued. "Let's see what's inside." Eli remained silent, his gaze fixed on the journal as if it were a puzzle waiting to be solved. He watched as Mira flipped through its pages, her expression shifting from dismissive to intrigued. "It's filled with sketches and notes," she said, her voice tinged with disbelief. "Some of it looks unsettling." Lila leaned over her shoulder. "Read it out loud." Mira hesitated before clearing her throat. June 12th. The woods are alive with whispers. We feel eyes upon us, but see nothing. The darkness closes in. A chill swept over them, the words casting an eerie pall over their campsite. Jonah shifted uneasily, glancing at the surrounding trees as if expecting something to emerge from their depths. "Maybe it's just a story," he suggested, trying to lighten the mood. "Or a warning," Eli murmured, more to himself than the others. They spent the afternoon poring over the journal, each entry sparking debates about its meaning and the fate of its original owners. As dusk settled around them, their conversations grew more animated, oscillating between skepticism and belief. Eli listened closely, weighing each argument with care. His mind raced with possibilities, analyzing every detail in search of patterns or explanations. Yet beneath his logical exterior lurked a gnawing uncertainty, an awareness that some questions might never be answered. Night descended swiftly in the forest, wrapping them in its embrace. The crackling campfire cast long shadows that danced across the trees, creating an ever-shifting tapestry of light and dark. "Do you think we're alone out here?" Lila asked suddenly, her voice barely above a whisper. Mira shrugged, feigning nonchalance. "Of course we are. It's just us and nature." Jonah nodded in agreement but glanced at Eli for reassurance. "Right?" Eli hesitated before answering. "I don't know," he admitted quietly. "There's something about this place. It feels different." Their phones had lost signal hours ago, leaving them isolated in their little corner of the world. Supplies seemed to dwindle faster than expected, a fact that did not go unnoticed by Eli's keen eyes. "Maybe we should head back tomorrow," Mira suggested tentatively. "Just to be safe." Jonah opened his mouth to protest but fell silent when he saw Eli's somber expression. "We'll decide in the morning," Eli said finally, his words carrying an unspoken weight that hung between them like fog. As they settled into their tents for the night, the forest came alive with sounds, twigs snapping in the distance, the hoot of an owl echoing through the darkness. Eli lay awake listening, his mind a whirlwind of thoughts and fears. The journal lay beside him like an unanswered question, a mystery wrapped in shadows and secrets. He felt its presence keenly, as if it were whispering to him from across time and space. In the oppressive silence of the wilderness, Eli grappled with doubt and fear, themes that mirrored his own internal struggles. He knew that trust would be tested and choices would need to be made. And as he drifted into uneasy sleep, one thought lingered. Were they truly alone, or had they unwittingly become part of a story much larger than themselves? The answers lay somewhere in those pages, or perhaps within themselves, and Eli was determined to find them before it was too late.